Hello, Wonder Child. Are you ready for bedtime? Great! Then let me tell you the story of Pota Carl and how he discovered an airplane. Once upon a time there was a little hippo. Everyone called him Pota Carl. He lived with Mummy Hippo and Daddy Hippo in the zoo. Pota Carl was very adventurous and very curious. When night came again and all the people had left the zoo, Pota Carl tried to open the lock on the door to his enclosure, and with a little trick he managed to do it. The lock was open. It was dark outside, but Pota Carl was brave. He snuck out of his enclosure and made his way through the zoo, but he did it quietly so that the other animals couldn't hear him. Today he wanted to go exploring and discover something new. He knew there were things flying along the sky that made a lot of noise. People called them airplanes, and he wanted to take a close look at them. So Pota Carl went to the next stop of the subway and took a subway where there was a sign of an airplane on the front. This subway went underground, and Pota Carl thought it was sensational. Sometimes it was dark, sometimes it was light. Then there was a station, people got on and off. And at the final stop, there it said, "Airport, please all get off." And Pota Carl got off. He had finally reached his destination. When he piled up the stairs, he was in a big hall with lots of people, and he thought, "I'll just go to where all the airplane noises are coming from." And so he sneaked through several doors until he suddenly stood at a place where he could go to an airplane. No human being was there. He looked to the left and looked to the right, but no one was there. And the door was open. So Pota Carl thought, well, if the door is open, then I can go in there. And so Pota Carlchen went along there, and sure enough, all of a sudden he was in an airplane. When he looked to the right, he saw all the seats. People must all sit down there. And when he looked to the left, there was a door, and behind the door there were only 2 small seats. And there were lots of buttons and switches and lots of lights. Oh, Pota Carl liked that. So he sat down and sat in the very front of the airplane. Pota Carl was completely enchanted, and he dreamed of flying far away. Suddenly 2 gentlemen in suits with caps came and were a little bit frightened when they saw Pota Carl in the cockpit and asked, "Hello, what are you doing here? Who are you?" And Pota Carl said, "I am Pota Carl, and who are you?" And the 2 said, "We are the pilots. We are supposed to fly the plane now, but you are not a pilot." And Pota Carl said, "No, but I would love to fly with you." And the pilot said, "Yes, but I think first you have to go home. I will call you at the zoo so that they can pick you up." And so he did. The one pilot called the zoo director. The zoo director wondered, "What? Pota Carlchen is at the airport? What has he done now?" The zoo director was a friendly, very kind person. He drove to the zoo, picked up Pota Carl and brought him back home. And at home, you can imagine, all the children in the Animal Children's School, they were excited and wanted to know from Carlchen how it was at the airport and what he had experienced, and he had to tell everyone exactly how it was when he sat in the cockpit of an airplane and dreamed of being a pilot one day. And that was our story for tonight. Now, sleep tight, Wonder Child. Tomorrow, there will be a new story. Good night.